Now, today we are going to discuss the performance testing plan. I have one test application I have performed the performance testing of any application. Then we need to first create the testing plan of the overall plan. What is the criteria we should follow during the performance testing? And here is the some I have make the some like the example of the test plan where you can get the idea about how to create a performance test plan. There is one application network and service management solution, ABC assurance company name, and here we can put the 10 document history. There is a version, date, by, description of changes, initial dropped remarks, and what is the team behind that. After that we have to perform the performance testing, and just we have to send the performance testing report to the person which is related to our application, like the client. Here we can create the distribution list, the name and designation. Jack Jobe, for example, it's the customer and project manager. ABC is the customer, and XYZ is the company head, and Siam Singh is the project manager. Yes Singh as a team lead. And is there any reference document that we can mention here? And the another main thing is the table of content. What is the content of the performance testing report? Means not a report, it's a document. First of all, introduction, scope, in scope, out of scope, and what the approach is: phase 1, phase 2 approach, phase 3, phase 4. In phase 1, it's a proof of concept for the tool. We have to searching the tool. Is a various tool available in the market. We have to POC of the tool. And second phase, performance benchmark. We can define the performance benchmark. And phase 3, performance regression. In performance testing, it's a very necessary to perform the regression, to perform the again and again the performance testing and analysis the result. In phase 4, expectance and scalability finding tuning is a very crucial phase where we can generate the all the expectation report and what is the current tuning of the current application, and scalability testing attribute. What is the scalability testing attribute? Scalability testing flow. And fourth one, entry and exit criteria. Entry criteria and exit criteria. Then we can move the testing tool, performance testing tool, defect management, test case management. You have to generate the like the report of performance testing. If there any bug, then we can log in defect management. Then test environment, effort estimate, team and effort size. Again, suspension criteria and resumption requirement. Is there any like a tool is not provided that we can stop our performance testing? Number 9, assumption, constraint, dependency, risks and mitigation. We can define assumptions, constraint, dependency, risks. Again, we can the main part is the role and responsibility. Who can perform the is a performance testing. Again, it's a communicating plan, and 12 is the approval. It's a very necessary. After doing the performance testing, it should be approved. The first is introduction. This document describes the test plan and strategy of performance testing of the network system management solution. The following topics are covered in the document: scope, strategy, approach, delivers, risk and dependency. Performance testing needs to ensure application meets all the performance parameters. We can give the knowledge about application, description, and scope. What is the in our scope? In scope, GUI performance, load testing, stress testing, GUI platform integration performance testing. It is something like integration testing. And what is the out of scope that we should not cover in our testing? It's some constraints. For example, platform only testing, functional testing. We are not doing the functional testing. Multi-browser, not doing the multi-browser testing. Testing on multiple device. We are not doing the multiple device like mobile, tab, etc. And what's our approach? In phase 1, we have to define the proof of concept for a tool. What is the tool we are going to use? There some different tool on market: Jmeter, Babload UI, WAPT, load runner. Load runner is a very costly. And what is the performance benchmark? This page is about setting and creating the benchmark task for the initial version of the application for all business transaction, and give the engineering and the quality assurance group a set metrics to quantify and scalability of the application based on the requirement is specified. The development group will either maintain the scalability or improve upon it through the subsequent milestone. The following scenarios listed of benchmark: login, switch user, adding definition, application configuration, task, workflow, behavior. Basically, it's the functionality of the application where we can perform the like to load testing of this function performance. Single step, adding web services. These are again the component of the one application service execution, task data, verify JSON request and response. And what is the load profile and cycle? One user, we can define the one user and 10 iteration, two user 10 iteration, 10 user 10 iteration, 25 user 10 iteration, increasing the load up to the level where application performance start degrading badly or server resources utilized up to 80%. And after that we have to performance regression phase. Third, this is a phase where the application is tested with the stability benchmark to ensure that the changes made to the application do not result in degradation of its stability. These tests are executed when key milestones have been reached or architectural modifications have been made during the development of the application. It is also common that the benchmark test and the metric originally set for the application be replaced or augmented with the additional tests and newer metrics to reflect the improvement made to the application. And phase 4, acceptance and scalability fine tuning. This is the final load testing phase prior to the final launch of the application, where all the different pieces of the application including the hardware and all software components are integrated and the scalability is validated. Different scenario of real life uses are emulated and scalability of the final configuration is validated. These different scenarios are also used to configure the hardware and software component to yield optimal performance. Is the another point is scalability testing attribute. Following the few attribute out of many that considered during scalability testing: response time, throughput is the major part, time, session time, reboot time, printing time, transaction time, task execution time, hit per second, request per second, transaction per second, performance measurement with number of user, performance when by underload, CPU uses, memory uses, memory leak, thread leakage, watermark, memory caches, processor disk and network user, request receive and send per second, byte tool per second, current bandwidth, connection failure, connection active failure at network interface level, and protocol leap, web service request and response per second, request succeeded and failed, server problem if any, scalability, testing flow, entry and exit criteria. Entry criteria: stable build with the no major functionality to test environment. Exit criteria: all performance related test cases have been executed, all the major performance related issues have been fixed with only minor residual performance risks left. Outstanding performance report. Testing tool: performance testing tool will be done using tool that will be finalized in the proof of concept of the tool. Defect management, test case management. We can write the different test cases. Test environment: what is the test environment? Windows 7, Mozilla, this type of, it may be Linux. Effort estimate team: we can divide the all the tasks between the team. Performance tester 1, 2, 3, and development POC for resolving any issue for the development team. Effort for phase 1 only. The following some factor considered: the estimate application complexity, test case complexity, test data setup, test result login to coordinate requirement, number of test run plan. The other part is application category. Task effort is divide the task: tool selection, environment, test planning, dry run, benchmark, test execution, analysis. You divide the effort. Suspension criteria and resumption: test case execution can be suspended if dedicated server is down. Obviously, test case execution can be suspended if QA environment is not ready. Yes. Assumption constraint dependency risk mitigation. Assumption: it should be our integration client will provide timely resolution of the query during testing activity. Constraint: some constraint dependency. What is the dependency? And impact. Risk: what's the risk to perform the, if there are any code changing during performance testing, it's hard to test the application. Roles and responsibility: you can define the role and responsibility to each person during the performance testing. Communication plan: the communication of the issue will be done through daily, weekly report and calls. Any local issue should be raised with concerned department and person. Status report and meeting. And finally, the another column is approval. We after that we should take the approval for our task and submit the final report to the client for approval. And if you want this document, then you can mail to me rite_rac@yahoo.com.